Morning folks, this is Josh, Stoney Ridge Farmer. Welcome to the farm vlog today. It's a beautiful morning here on the farm. It's about 45 degrees in North Carolina. Thank you. I feel so good. I want to talk to you a little bit about what's going on today. I've got hay on the ground that I cut 2 weeks ago. We have had a hurricane on top of the hay. We've had a whole lot of issues with rain. It just rains like every other day and I can't get the stinking hay up. So today we're going to get over there, we're going to rake that hay up, we're going to bale it, we're going to do this as quickly as we possibly can. And we've got an issue again with the Kubota tractor over here, and it's the same issue that was going on before. I'll take you over and I'll show you real quick. There is a button system on the handle for the loader that runs the grapple here, and this is the Everything Attachments Wicked 55 grapple. What I'm running into here, and I've got this all disassembled, is this hydraulic line must have gotten hung up on something, and this is an extra hydraulic line that isn't from Kubota, okay? So it got hung up on something and it bent, it wallowed out the connector right here. So I'm not sure if that connector is wallowed out or if this connector is wallowed out, but I am sure that it's a pain in the butt. So I've got it all disassembled right now and I've got to go get some parts for it. And in case you don't know, this tractor belongs to Everything Attachments. This is the tractor that we'll be using to clear all the brush. So we're going to be using the grapple around the farm to clear up all the brush from all the storm debris here pretty soon. So that's what's going on with that situation there. We've got hay on the ground. It's a very urgent thing. I've got to get it up. And I also, if you guys follow the vlog, I lost a friend and the visitation stuff is tonight. So I've got to get this hay up off the ground, raked up. It's nice and windy. Hopefully it dries. Then we'll get in here, we'll bale it, then we'll go in, clean up, and we'll go over to the funeral home. It's kind of sad. The man that sold me the farm passed away. Very, very nice man. Changed my life in a lot of ways. So a lot of respect there. Well, let's get busy. We're going to ride over on the other side of the farm. I also have the power company. There's a car down there you can't see, but the power company's down there waiting for me. We're going to reroute the power lines. They're all down there scratching their heads like, well, what are we going to do? So let's go meet them. We'll get that handled. We'll get on the tractor, hopefully throw the drone up in the air, get some pretty footage of this farm. It's a beautiful day. All right? Woo!
Yes, I was raised Southwest Virginia. I have no quarrel, life above. The sun, it shines all through my soul now. I'm going on where I was raised.
So we're on the Gator. We're driving up through some new land that we cleared right here. Meeting with the power company went well. What we were meeting about is where we're going to build our permanent home and getting the power lines further away from the tree hazards that we've had with all these storms here lately. So the power company's trying to do the right thing, trying to do the smart thing and get us away from tree hazards. So what we're going to be doing is moving the power line down the hill, away from our farm, away from the house a little bit, so that we could potentially build our permanent home right out here on this beautiful knoll. In other words, we'll have to make a creek crossing down here, and all this stuff will be in vlogs in the future, but we'll have to make a creek crossing with a gigantic pipe, maybe 2 gigantic pipes, because this bottom right here floods out when there's a big heavy storm. So we'd make our road to our home right here, and our home would be out here, and this would be our front pasture, front yard, very private, very nice. So tractor's parked over here. We're going to ride over and get all hooked up. We already have the rake hooked up and we're going to get rocking and rolling. I'm going to show you the hay that we're raking up and show you what the issue is with letting hay sit on the field and get wet over and over again. It's not good for it, not at all. What you'll see from the air on the drone shots, ooh, there's a rock. I have a deal with myself. Anytime I find a rock, I pick that rock up. So if I'm in the middle of something, I don't care what it is, I'm stopping and I'm picking the rock up. So this is the hay that we raked up the other day, and it started pouring down rain on us. It's still moist underneath. It doesn't have a very moldy smell, but I've got to turn it. In other words, I've got to run the rake over it and roll it over again. And then out through here, it hasn't been raked yet. I've got to roll it over too, let this wind whip through it. By the time I get to the baler, the outside rows will be dry enough, and I'll bale them. Right here is spring cut hay, and I just have a surplus. I have a surplus of hay and I don't need it. I can't sell it here. It's only worth about 20 bucks a bale around here, and I just can't bale it for that. So the best thing to do is feed the land and bush hog it. So next spring, early in the spring, I'll bush hog it down. I'll probably mow hay in the middle of the year, and then I'll bush hog it down again in the fall. Let's get on the tractor. And what you're gonna see here in just a second is the V-rake. There's a hydraulic arm right beside my hip on the tractor. I'll raise up the V-rake, we'll ride by, and then we'll start raking this hay up. I'm gonna rake the heaviest places first, and then I'll rake the lightest places. That way it has time to dry. We're getting started mowing here, I wanted to make mention of something. This is called 3M Work Tunes. They'll be a link down the video description. I'm gonna do a full-on review of this, but I just wanted to make mention of it. There's one button right here. You basically turn it on. You can skip tracks or whatever, so you can listen to your phone. You can take a phone call. You can hear the phone ring while you're on the tractor. The noise deadening, I'm very impressed with it. I like it a lot. So this is basically converting my 5065 open station tractor to a cab tractor in my mind. Really impressed. You can't turn the volume up really high. In other words, you can't make yourself go deaf from music versus going deaf from the tractor. So really impressed with it. I just thought it was worth making mention of. Work Tunes, there'll be a link down below in the video description. Totally worth the money. I think it's somewhere in the neighborhood of 45 bucks or something like that. I toyed with the idea of getting these for 2 years, and I wished I'd have gotten them the first day I had the tractor. Cool. is done raking. It's warm, it's afternoon, it's about 3:15, and something has gone wrong. So what's gone wrong here is the shear pin, and this is what I use as a shear pin, has broken in the baler. And what happens is something gets bound up in there and causes that shear pin to snap. In other words, breaks this bolt right here. We're gonna open this up. I'll take you over and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Underneath this panel right here is a shear pin, and this is what's left of the shear pin. It goes in right here, and we're rotated all the way around 180 degrees. Now this is a simple rotational fix. Basically, we just rotate this guy back to the place where it needs to be. We save our old shear pin, don't put that on the ground. And then we'll put our new shear pin in through this hole and right in there. It's kind of hard to do and hold the camera. There we go, gotta find that sweet spot. There it goes. So I'll put the nut on the end of that, and that is a replaced shear pin. Now the bigger question is, what's wrong in here? So this will be the second shear pin. I broke one just a minute ago, and really my bail indicator is good. So when it gets to the red, you start worrying about a shear pin breaking. My bail indicator's good, everything's good. So I don't know, I opened up the panels on the side of the machine, I inspected it all the way around. I can't seem to find what's causing that shear pin to break. So the next step here is to release the bail and then engage the PTO and hopefully kick out the bail. Now this bail will not be tied. So I pulled up here close to my neighbor's house. We did a little swapping. Neighbor lives through the woods right here. There's a little road, you can't see it, but my neighbor lives right through the woods there. He'd love to have a bale of hay, so we just won't tie this one. We'll bring it over there for his goats and for his garden. So let's open this thing up and hopefully keep your fingers crossed that it kicks the bale out like it's supposed to. You'll know if this is successful if you start seeing those belts turning on that machine. If it's not successful, you'll probably hear something go pop, and that will be the shear pin breaking. And that's my last shear pin that I have over here in the field. I'm not sure, I may not have any more at the house. That may put me at a work stoppage, which will be super duper cool because I want to spend 9 days baling this hay. This has been such a letdown this year, trying to bale hay with the weather being crazy. So I don't know why it's breaking. Let's start the tractor up, see if we can engage that PTO and kick this bale out. It kicked the bale out, but something's making a god-awful noise in here. I don't know what it is. This is real life farming, so you want it, you got it. Lock that into place. That keeps my lift from coming down on my head. Let's see, we got something rattling in here. May have just picked up a rock or something. Wait. All right. Found the problem. Here's the problem. This chain has jumped off the sprocket up here. Probably can't see it. The sun's kind of in a weird place, but so the chain isn't broken, but this chain has jumped the sprocket right here, and this is the tensioner right here. So we need to get it back around the tensioner, back up and around right here. Probably the reason behind this is the chain has gotten loose and not holding tension on there. Embracing daylight here. I don't want to mess around with this tomorrow. I want to be done with it today. I'm glad the shear pin broke before it broke the chain though. Kind of dusty, kind of yucky in here. There we go. Well, this kind of thing really only happens when you, there we go, let's roll that chain on there. Come on, baby. It's not on the tensioner. Let's get our tensioner spring out. There we go. So this kind of thing really only happens when you're in a hurry. Pretty much the gist of it. You see my chain is really loose right here. That's what my issue is. The spring is pulling as far back as it can. I really need to take some links out of this chain is what I need to do. Don't want to fool with this. I just want things to be okay. Dust in my eyes. All right, we may take a link out of that chain. I don't know, but got a wasted bale, what I consider 40 bucks on the ground right there, and a chain busted. I've got a chain tool somewhere in the shop. Come over here and just replace that chain or pull a couple links out of it. We'll see. I'll let you know what I do. I'm gonna be fooling with this again tomorrow. Oh man, let me show you. Let's get you over here. Here's the issue with the chain. The chain is kind of floppy. You can see this, it's very, very loose. This is the master link, and the master link is trashed. So that is the master link, and it's just falling apart. So set that right there. What we need to do is go purchase a new master link and take out probably this much chain, put it back together, and make sure we've got tension on here, and that'll be it. It'll be good. So I'm gonna take out this master link so I know what size chain to get when I go to the farm supply store. All right, we're all locked up, good to go. My key is going back to the house with me, and we've got the chain link. We'll take the chain link to the farm supply store and get a new piece of chain. Once again, you see, this ain't easy. This ain't cheap. This is a good way of living. But I tell you what, sometimes things just don't go right, no matter what you do. So you can do all the preventive maintenance in the world. Sometimes things just don't go right. Learning every day. Guys, thanks a lot for coming to the Stoney Ridge Farm today. I hope you enjoyed the video. A lot of fun stuff. Enjoyed baling hay with you for the time that I did get to bale and raking hay. It's good stuff. I've been out here since about 11 o'clock this morning. We're on about 5 hours. That's fine. That's about right, 5 hours for breaking stuff. Thanks a lot, guys. We'll see you next time on the Stoney Ridge Farm. I appreciate you. Pound that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the little bell icon down there. It'll notify you when I post a new video. We'll see you next time. All right? Woo!
Land of the free and the home of the brave. I'm proud of who I am.